Thank you, dear viewers, for your loyalty to Africanews and to this program devoted to news on football. The Football Planet quarantine, but we are not. Welcome to Football Planet. The title is coming up. The world is under the dictates of coronavirus football too. The pandemic has disrupted almost every program, with championships suspended and CAN 2021 qualifiers postponed. Africa is also suffering the full brunt of the virus, which is increasingly disturbing the world. What about the African Nations Championship? The tournament has been impacted, yet AFCON is expected to make a decision following the inspection mission to Cameroon, which ended on Sunday. The postponement of the tournament seems unavoidable, but in Cameroon, people are not thinking about it, as our colleague Philemon Bale will explain. And then on to a more positive note, the big sensation created by Zambia, who knocked Cameroon out of the run for the women's tournament at the Olympic Games. The Copper Queens qualified by defeating the indomitable Lions at home in the second leg of the final round of qualifying. Football Planet continues just after this moment. So Africa will not have escaped the refugees of the coronavirus. Like much of the world, almost everything on the continent is at a standstill. Beginning with the qualifiers for the 2021 African Cup of Nations. After announcing that the matches could be maintained, CAF finally backed down and postponed the third and fourth rounds of the qualifiers. The explanations by William and Hawa.
The 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifiers has been postponed indefinitely due to the coronavirus epidemic. The announcement was made over the weekend by the Confederation of African Football in a press release. The release points to the increase in travel restrictions around the world, whilst most African players play outside the continent. The postponement has affected the third and fourth days of the qualifiers scheduled for the end of March. Another competition affected is the qualifiers of the CAN Women's 2020 and the qualifying matches for the Women's Under-20 World Cup. On Wednesday, the African Confederation maintained organization of the African Nations Championship, a competition reserved for players playing on the continent, and scheduled to take place in Cameroon from 4 to 25th April. Experts from the Confederation carried out a medical inspection visit on site to evaluate all the preventive measures taken by the local organizing committee.
Beyond the postponement of the 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifiers due to the coronavirus, almost the entire continent's footballing landscape is affected. Several countries have already suspended the championship. This is a threat to the holding of the African Championship of Nations CHAN, scheduled to take place in Cameroon in about 20 days' time, even if CAF has so far maintained the organization of the tournament. The story by Eric and Claudia.
The coronavirus pandemic continues to affect sporting events around the world, and Africa is not spared the drastic measures taken to stem the spread of the virus. After hesitating for a long time, the Confederation of African Football has decided to postpone match days 3 and 4 of the African Cup of Nations 2021 qualifying rounds. However, this does not appear to be the case for the African Nations Championship, which is scheduled to start in about 20 days. Inspectors from the continental body recently ended their inspection visit to host nation Cameroon. While CAF is expected to make a statement on the scheduled tournament, Rwanda announced Sunday its decision to immediately withdraw from all sporting competitions. Although Morocco has named its preliminary squad, the North African country is also contemplating withdrawal following the suspension of sporting events in the kingdom. Uganda, for its part, has cancelled the preparatory tournaments it planned to host, which included Zambia, Mali, Burkina Faso, Togo, and Niger.
And then now to the Royal Moroccan Federation was to meet this Monday evening to assess the situation. I remind you that the Atlas Lions are the holders of the trophy. Let's now head to Cameroon to meet up with our colleague Philemon Bale to see how we're experiencing all these upheavals due to the coronavirus. Happy to have you. So first of all, what is your point of view on the decision of CAF to postpone the qualifiers 2 legs of the AFCON 2021?
Well, I think it is a little precipitated on the part of CAF. I think we could still deal with the situation at hand, but it is the organizing body of football, so their decision must be respected. But I like I said, it's a little bit precipitated by CAF. We could still play the qualifiers. The coronavirus, the propagation rate, the spreading rate on the African continent is not at a level which I think we could begin panicking or thinking of suspending qualifiers. But well, like I said, it is the Confederation of African Football. Their decision will always stand. But personally, I think it was a little much precipitated.
The other problem now is CHAN, which is still a probability. How do Cameroonians perceive this situation?
To be very honest, a lot of Cameroonians are not very concerned. When I say very concerned, negatively, I should be specific, with the coronavirus, because it is true there are some sporadic cases across the continent. But like I said, the number of cases, I don't think it really warrants for any panicking. And just to let you know that the Intermediate Lions of Cameroon's CHAN team is still in camp. I think they are playing a friendly game against a first division side today. And so preparations are moving on normally. The organizing committee is taking the precautionary measures. The local championship, to say our first division and second division championships, are still running. Cameroonians are still very excited. We are hoping, we know that come the 4th of April, the kickoff will be done here in Cameroon, and we are expecting the other delegations. So back here in Cameroon, the excitement is still building up. The Intermediate Lions of Cameroon are playing a friendly game currently as we speak. And so here the excitement is there. We accept otherwise, except within the next couple of days, CAF decides to cancel or to postpone the CHAN competition. Believe me, Cameroon is getting ready for the competition.
Aren't they worried about rumors of possible decline from Rwanda, Morocco in particular, threatening?
Well, the truth is we are not very concerned, because CAF should be the one to bear the burden of concern if at all Rwanda and Morocco say they will not participate. Our point is we, as Cameroon, we are organizing the CHAN. We continue with our organization. We continue with our preparation. If CAF sees it necessary, then they can take a decision. But for us as a nation, as a host nation of the CHAN, believe me, we are not so much bothered about countries backing out of the competition. It is a 16-team competition, and any team can be replaced at any time. I think, following the rules of CAF. So, as of now, we are not very much concerned about the virus spreading on the continent, especially affecting our football. Like I said, the first division championship is still running. The second division championship is still running. The COCAN is doing everything possible. The team is getting ready. And that's it. Until CAF decides, we are going to host the competition.
Hopefully the pandemic will be brought under control as soon as possible. Thank you very much, Philomene Mbale, and I hope to see you soon. This set on Football Planet. See you soon.
Always a pleasure.
Philemon Mbale nous parlait de Douala.
Philemon Mbale talking to us from Douala, Cameroon. And then despite the situation, we were playing in some championship. That was the case in the Turkish Super League, where the 26th round of matches this weekend was marked in particular by John Michael Obi refusal to contest the summit clash between leaders Trabzonspor and runners-up Istanbul here, precisely because coronavirus. It was a match that ended in a one-goal draw everywhere, and African distinguished himself in the duel at the top. The Senegalese Demba Ba, who scored his 10th goal of the season.
Parlons maintenant de football féminin et de la sensation.
Now let's talk about women's football and the sensation in Olympic qualifiers. Zambia will represent Africa in Tokyo next summer. The Copper Queens overthrew the indomitable Lioness of Cameroon 2-1 after losing the first leg 3-2. A big surprise to say the least, but it's well deserved. This is Zambia's quest qualification for the women's Olympic tournament. As for the indomitable Lions, they will have to go through to playoffs against Chile in April.
Sinon, un barrage, ce sera contre le Chili en avril prochain.
And then Zambia missed the chance to make the double chance with the women's under-17 in World Cup qualifiers. They were knocked out by South Africa, who made a fantastic comeback 3-0 after losing 2-0 in the first leg. Nigeria also qualified at the expense of Guinea, who were beaten 5-1, making 6-1 on aggregate. But that is not as good as Uganda, who copped Tanzania 5-0 after losing the first leg 2-1. Cameroon, meanwhile, finished 6-0 to Sao Tome, better than their 4-0 first leg defeat. But it was Ghana who were the real winners in the nominate round of qualifiers with an 8-0 win over Liberia, who had already lost their first leg 2-0. The final round of under-17 World Cup qualifiers, which include clash between Ghana and Nigeria, will now be decided by the giants. Uganda will take on Cameroon, while South Africa will face Morocco in another promising duel.
L'Afrique du Sud fera face au Maroc pour un autre duel très prometteur.
I will remind you that the three winners of these three games will represent Africa at the Under-17 World Cup, scheduled to take place in India from 2nd to 21st November. And that is all for Football Planet for today. Time for the technical and production team. Information continues on Africanews and Africanews.com. Have an excellent week. Bye for now.
Au revoir.